Let me sing for my loved one, a love song for his vineyard. My loved one had a vineyard on a fertile hillside. He dug it, cleared away its stones, planted it with excellent vines, built a tower inside it, and dug out a wine vat in it. He expected it to grow good grapes, but it grew rotten grapes. Isaiah calls this a love song, but to our modern ears, it comes off more like a country song. It's a song about deep love, sacrifice, broken contracts, and broken hearts. Instead of a dog and a pickup truck, there's a garden and a vineyard grown wild and unproductive. The gardener sings his lament, asking, who is to blame? Is this failure the fault of the gardener or the vine that has failed to produce? Even though I am a city dweller, I can relate to the gardener's broken heart. I've spent countless hours preparing soil, moving soil, digging, and nurturing plants. I've invested lots of money just to harvest a few tomatoes or watermelons. Now, there are many reasons a garden fails to produce: climate, storms, the quality of seed, and the water. The soil in which a vine is planted can be detected in the taste of the grape. Every component matters. But the common thread in my garden failures is me. The grapevine in this passage is fortunate. A master gardener has tended to it. This gardener chose fertile soil and cleared rocks and weeds. The best vines were chosen to be grown and protected by a hedge and a wall. There was every reason to anticipate a great harvest, and the gardener even built a wine vat in anticipation of the vineyard's bounty. It was a garden sown in love and given the finest of gifts by a master. The heartbreak comes at harvest. Instead of vats overflowing with wine, the gardener finds only rotten wild grapes. And the gardener sings, what more was there to do for my vineyard that I haven't done for it? When I expected it to grow good grapes, why did it grow rotten grapes? The gardener had a contract with the vine. The gardener would provide all the garden needed so that the garden would produce. When the garden fails to produce, the gardener destroys the vine. And this destruction is not done in anger, but sadness. If grapes won't grow in fertile soil in a garden protected and nurtured with love, something must be terribly wrong. Any gardener knows that keeping vines that have run wild would contaminate future vines. Cutting and burning are essential to rid the garden of rot. Even tearing down protection has a purpose. Wild animals will help destroy what is left. They will eat the weeds and dig in the soil. They will fertilize the ground that has failed. A total reset is needed for a total failure. Now, a love song for a failed garden is hardly going to be a hit, but there is a twist. It is no ordinary gardener who sings, I will command the clouds not to rain on it. The vineyard of the Lord of heavenly forces is the house of Israel, and the people of Judah are the plantings in which God delighted. God expected justice, but there was bloodshed. Righteousness, but there was a cry of distress. The gardener is God, the creator and the master of the first garden, God who is just in all things. While we might have questioned the gardener's abilities, now we are left to look to the vine. Why did it grow rotten grapes? In this saga of broken hearts, the vine has its own song. This battle will be waged through verse. The Song of the Vine is found in Psalm 80, and it opens with a plea for God to return. Shepherd of Israel, listen. You, the one who leads Joseph as if he were a sheep. You who are enthroned upon the winged heavenly creatures, show yourself before Ephraim, Benjamin, and Manasseh. Wake up your power. Come to save us. Restore us, God. Make your face shine so that we can be saved. The vine is willing to concede that the gardener has provided well for it. From verse 8, we read, You brought a vine out of Egypt. You drove out the nations and planted it. You cleared the ground for it, then it planted its roots deep, filling the land. The mountains were covered by its shade, the mighty cedars were covered by its branches. It sent its branches all the way to the sea. Its shoots went all the way to the Euphrates River. The vine is proud of its growth. It has spread deep and wide under the care of all God has given. So why has God abandoned it? The vine is so proud of its growth, it has taken everything and spread out, and it's surely an impressive sight, but what about the fruit? There are no grapes in the Song of the Vine. I once grew a watermelon vine. It took over a good third of my yard. It was glorious, but what I didn't get from it was fruit. After 2 or 3 small, half-rotten melons were produced, I tore the vine out. It was utilizing resources that productive plants needed. I turned the soil under. I quit protecting the area from encroaching plants and weeds. Who broke the contract I had with that vine? Was it me, no master gardener, for not providing all it needed? That's possible. Or was it the vine who used up resources that could have been more wisely used for production? These songs invite us to consider the question, who is to blame? When things go wrong, when hopes aren't met, is God at fault or is it us? The vine struggles to answer the question, first accusing God of abandoning it and then begging God to save it. The vine is still struggling to understand the contract. It cries out, "Come and stand with us, provide us all we need and want, and then we will not turn away from you. Revive us so that we can call on your name." Notice there's no talk of grapes or of the wine that the gardener anticipates. The wine that is a blessing of God, described in so many scriptures as that which makes humans merry and is poured out as a blessing, is never mentioned. The vine is offering to continue to use God's resources without restraint, to grow wildly as it pleases, without producing any fruit. So we have 2 views of the contract. God has offered to provide the very best of resources and to tend the garden with love. In return, God expects a bountiful harvest of blessings. The vine would prefer a prosperity contract. Give us everything we want just as we want it, and we will run wildly through the land. Grapevines are not meant to run wild. While a vine this big is impressive, it isn't productive. The vine has mistaken uncontrolled growth for productive growth. The resources God gives are not given to be consumed and kept. They're given so the vine can grow grapes and grow more shoots that will produce even more fruit. The contract the gardener offers the vine is mistaken by the vine as a blessing to hoard resources. They want to keep the best for themselves. The song of the gardener is a song of distributive justice. It is a song of people who have long sucked up the resources of the land with no thought for those in need. Isaiah, Jeremiah, and all the prophets have preached for years that the unfettered growth of the wealthy in the land has destroyed the weak. Instead of producing the wine of blessing and opportunities for more growth, the strong have overtaken the weak with greed and violence. God's vine was planted to embody justice. It was planted to consume the resources given to it to produce more justice. It was to be a garden that produced a righteous distribution of goods. The vine broke the contract, the covenant, to overtake more lands, to demand more resources, and to violently take what was meant to be shared. I invite you to sit with these 2 songs, songs of love gone wrong, of broken contracts and heartbreak. Who is in the wrong? Is God to blame for what became of the vine? What part does the vine play in restoration, if any? These are the questions I ask myself these days. Who is to blame for what is going on? And where is God? Before we rush to the mercy and the forgiveness of God, we should sit with our lament. Before we sing of the root growing from the stump of Jesse and a new covenant with God, we need to remind ourselves of why that new covenant was necessary. Our ancestors lived to hoard resources, to violently take what they wanted, and to overtake the poor and the marginalized. They failed to turn resources into blessings, even with the help of the master gardener. What song are we singing? What song will be sung of us?